Have you ever had that feeling, that nagging sense that you're capable of so much more? That there's this bigger, more impactful version of yourself just waiting to be unlocked? Well, that's exactly what we're tackling today. We're going to use Thibaut Meurisse's Do the Impossible as our guide to break through those self-imposed limits and finally tap into our extraordinary potential.
So let me ask you this, and be honest. When was the last time you did something you genuinely believed was impossible? Just take a second and really think about it. Because when we do those things, we're not just, checking a box. We're challenging who we think we are. We're peeling back all these layers of fear and self-doubt, and in those moments, man, we feel truly alive. That feeling, that's a little glimpse of what you're actually capable of.
Most of us feel this gap, right? This space between the life we're living day to day and that huge, unlived potential that's just sitting there inside us. That's the core problem that holds so many of us back from becoming truly extraordinary.
So, that leads us right into our first section, really digging into that unlived life. Why is it even there? And where does that nagging feeling of being stuck actually come from? And look, even the author of this book wasn't immune to this. He talks about being in his MBA program, surrounded by people who just seemed smarter, and it felt like no matter how hard he worked, he couldn't close that gap. He felt insecure, inadequate, a feeling I bet a lot of us know all too well. It's just a crucial reminder that even extraordinary people often start from a place of serious self-doubt.
So how do we bridge that gap? Well, the author's whole journey led him to this core revelation. Our biggest limitations aren't really the external stuff, they're internal. The solution lies in upgrading what he calls our inner operating system.
And the source code for that whole operating system? It's our assumptions. An assumption is just a statement you believe is true. Like, oh, I'm not smart enough, or there's no way I could ever do that. These statements, they act like the rules of the game. They dictate and constrain everything you even allow yourself to consider in the first place.
And this is where it all clicks into place. Just look at this chain reaction. It all starts with our assumptions. They form our beliefs, which then generate our thoughts. Our thoughts, of course, drive our actions, and what do our actions do? They create our results. It's a simple but an incredibly powerful flow. So if you want to change your results, you can't just try to change your actions at the end of the line. You have to go all the way back to the source code, your assumptions.
So, okay, if our old limiting assumptions are the problem, what's the fix? What do we replace them with? Well, the book offers 3 super powerful meta-beliefs that basically act as master keys to upgrade our entire system. Just think of these meta-beliefs as sitting at the very, very top of your belief hierarchy. They're the ones that unlock the valve, right? They allow this whole field of possibility to flow freely. When you install these 3, all those other empowering beliefs suddenly become so much easier to adopt.
All right, the first meta-belief is a total game changer. Everything is possible. Now hold on, this isn't about trying to fly or ignore the laws of physics. It's about flipping your default assumption. Instead of starting from a place of I can't, you start from I can, and then you get to work figuring out the how.
Second, everything is learnable. This is just pure growth mindset, right? Your abilities are not fixed in stone. Whether it's public speaking or coding or even just building confidence, these are all skills. And with enough time and effort, you can learn pretty much anything you need to learn to get to where you want to go.
And third, every problem is solvable. This reframes challenges completely. A problem isn't some dead-end wall you run into. It's a puzzle that's just waiting for the right piece. And like the author points out, if something is truly, actually unsolvable, well, then it's not really a problem. It's just a fact of reality you have to accept and work around. But how do you actually start believing this stuff in the real world? The book gives us this brilliant practical tool. It's called the if one, then 1 million principle. The whole idea is that you only need to prove something is possible once. If you can find just one client, you've proven the process works. And if it works once, it can be scaled. Now, adopting these powerful beliefs isn't just about chanting some mantras in the mirror. It requires a pretty profound shift in your mindset. It requires you to master your inner world first.
This is where the concept of subjective reality comes in. It's basically a thought experiment. You act as if the entire external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your internal state. So instead of trying to change other people or your circumstances, you focus all of your energy on changing yourself, your thoughts, your beliefs, your character.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important question. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one goal you currently believe is impossible for you?
Now just imagine for a moment that you knew with absolute certainty that its achievement was not just possible, but completely inevitable. What would you start doing differently today? That first action, that's the first step toward finally living that unlived life within you.
I'm waiting to see in the comments.